to order. And we will take our attendance. So I heard Brian. Could everyone say your name who's here?
Alder Wingate.
Okay. Please forgive me, Alder Wingate.
Alder Frank Douglas, Ward 2.
Jeanette Morrison, Ward 22, Dixon.
We couldn't hear you, Alder Smith.
Sorry.
Alder
Alder
Smith.
There you
Alder
go.
Smith, Ward 30.
Now we can.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. Alder Santiago, Ward 15.
Alder Delphine Clyburn, Ward 20. Okay. All right, so we'll start with our ground rules.
On the Clyburn, just for the
Yes.
record, or the Decola is also here too. Sal is on there.
Oh, okay, so he's joining as the leader, one of our leaders.
Yep.
Okay, all right, so ground rules, we will respect one another and we will limit our talking, whatever we're talking about, to at least 1 to 2 minutes. Our president is not here, so she was going to give us the follow-up on the Yale jobs, and their next meeting was going to be the 21st of January, I believe. So we'll go on.
Alder, Madam Chair.
Yes.
When you said Yale jobs, I do have an announcement concerning Yale jobs. So.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh, you want to know it now? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So on tomorrow, which is February 12th, the Yale Hiring Initiative will be hosting or holding its first of many meetings that they'll be having over, I guess, the course of whenever. But they're having this meeting. It's a collaboration between myself, Ward 22, Ward 21, Steve Winter, and the Dixville management team. It's going to be held via Zoom tomorrow at 6. And the purpose of the meeting is to inform the community on how to apply for jobs with Yale. And so, so I don't have information in the sense of what President Myers would have, but in regards to, people trying to apply for jobs, this is an opportunity for some information. And I believe Al sent that out.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, yeah, Al did send it out. Everybody should have that. I got it. Let me know about it too. And I think this is the way they're visiting all of us at once or different management teams to tell about their jobs. Okay, the way they're gonna do some hiring. I said, oh, okay.
Brian has it, Alder Wingate has his hand up.
Okay, Alder.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just for clarification, you said the 12th? Tomorrow, what day is it? It's
Tomorrow,
the 11th?
The 12th.
Tomorrow is the
Thursday, right? The 12th.
No, tomorrow's the 11th.
Tomorrow's
I'm
the 11th.
sorry.
Yeah, tomorrow's the 11th.
Joe, we're like this.
Yeah,
You know what it
tomorrow's the
is?
11th. It's okay.
12th is on my mind because that's my holiday. The one
okay.
state holiday we get off.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else gets off. So
I get
it's
it.
tomorrow, Thursday, the 11th at
Okay.
6 o'clock. Thank you, Alder Wingate.
Not a problem.
Did everybody get it in there from Al, the information, the link for it? Or, because I'm not sure if Al is on, if they're doing it by a management team or they just doing it with all the alders at one time tomorrow for 6.
No, so what's happening?
Teams.
Oh, management team, okay.
Well, I don't even know if it's management teams. All I know is that one of the Fallon Thomas, who was a resident here at Ward 22 since she was 12, works for the Yale Hiring Initiative. He contacted me and said that they are doing their rounds to be
Yeah,
able
they
to
shared
provide
it.
this information. And so they asked myself and Alder Winter to co-sponsor with them. They also brought this to the Dixwell management team, and I believe at that time they asked them to also to co-sponsor, which they did. So the flyer has all four entities listed.
Okay,
But I don't know if this is something that's being done through the management teams, because there might be some management teams that aren't interested. So that's how I got my information.
all right then. So Al, we'll look and we'll, we can ask him on our own time. Let's see, but this is different from what our president talks about. She's talking about the Yale University jobs follow-up. So we'll wait till she come on tonight and we'll go over that. Okay, so old business.
Madam Chair, can I, because I don't know if you noticed, or the furlough and Alder Rodriguez, Evelyn Rodriguez joined us, just to be
Okay.
recognized.
Okay, good, okay.
Present.
All right. Oh, she's driving. Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
But I'm
Okay,
present.
good. So we'll move on. If any alder you see, they raise their hand, Alder Santiago, you let me know because I can't see that.
Definitely, I
Okay.
will. Thank you.
So now we're gonna go on to our old business, which we're not discussing dues and we're not discussing the treasurer's report because it's
got
the
you.
same from last month. Fundraising committee, the gala. I wanted you to know.
And I think,
if you-
I think Alder Wingate had the hands up. So I'm sorry
Okay.
to interrupt.
Okay,
Thank you, Alder. Ernie Santiago, Alder, Madam Chair, with new business. I think this is important for us to I want to share with you on the 18th.
can we wait till we get to the new business?
We all business now.
We're
Okay,
on
go ahead.
old. He said new.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, for the old business, I wanted to share with all of us that our secretary, Alder Edwards, she have sent a very nice information to everybody, telling them about the Black and Hispanic Caucus State of City address. She just also put in there the things that our president spoke on last year, about COVID-19 that had just come up, and jobs and racism, affordable housing and gun violence and redlining. So she talked on that. She sent everyone that in their emails from her email, Ward 19. Also, she put there, she's asked everyone to please share their thoughts and ideas on what you would like what you would like to have addressed in our 2021 State of City address. This is old stuff, so that's why I'm just going over this old business. She also suggests that we also think about the way we would like to do our gala. So we did discuss that. So I'm just bringing some points out.
Yeah.
She also discussed.
Alder Claiborne, you right on cue because Alder Morrison has her hand up. When you mentioned gala, she
Okay, but you have to wait till I finish.
Okay, got it.
Talking, I'm just sharing with us some of the things that our secretary have sent to all 22 alders of the Black and Hispanic Caucus. Also, she put in there the bylaws, which we talked about last time. We also our annual events she sent to everyone, so everyone could take a part and really do something with our annual events this year. So that's old business that she has sent to everyone, 22 alders. So please take time to go over those things. One more thing was the treasury report. we were thinking about having it
Madam
submitted.
Chair, Madam Chair, you're
Yes.
going, can I ask you a question just for clarification? I'm not understanding the lineup of the meeting, because with every topic, you're supposed to say the topic and then give every person a chance if they have questions, comments,
Yeah, but
concerns.
I'm just giving old business on
Right,
what
but there's-
everybody should have received.
But
in
what
the
I'm
email.
trying to say is you're giving old business, but there's things about the old business that needs to be discussed. Like, for example, I did get Kim's email. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what I was being asked. I know that it said something about the Black and Hispanic Caucus state of address. It said something about gala and bylaws. I didn't understand the wholeness of the email. And so when you said about those things that she said about the address, I quite didn't understand
Okay, what
in a
she
way
was
why she
doing.
said stuff that she said. So I wanted to get more clarity tonight in regards to what it is that, one, you guys are thinking about the address, two, what it is that you would like for us to do. Because if you don't provide us with kind of a foundation baseline of which direction you're going, it's going to be hard for any of us to hone in.
Okay, but I would like to say did anyone else read what Alder Edwards sent? Because it was self-explanatory on each topic she shared. She shared about the speech from 2021.
We all
And
take
she-
information in differently, Alder.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry for my ignorance. I'll claim being ignorant in this situation. I just
No,
didn't get the
Jeanette,
email.
it's not, don't take it personal. That's not what.
No, I'm not taking it personal.
yeah.
I'm just saying to you that I didn't quite understand the email. So I
Okay.
thought tonight, during tonight's meeting, we would have an opportunity to talk about it. So when you brought it up, I thought that was that for that. But I guess that is
Oh.
not what you intended. You just intended to bring it up and we figure it out
Hit
on our
highlight.
own.
Hit some highlights on what I took from also the email to share, because she would have done that if she was here. She's at a meeting. She won't be here tonight. So I was just taking some highlights from what she had already shared with the 22 alders of the Black and Hispanic Caucus. That's all I was doing tonight for that. So is that what your hand was up for? Did you explain? Because you were next on the queue, Alder Santiago said.
I guess. I guess.
Oh, okay. All right then. So, well, I'm gonna say, is anybody else here that did not understand the email that went out to you? Because it went out to 22 of us.
Alder Wingate has his hand up.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, I received it. I was just wanted to make a suggestion that we try to move on in reference to the time.
Yes.
That's all.
Oh, okay. All right then. I respect that. Yeah, I really want us to have our meeting from 6 to 7:30.
Okay.
Especially if we don't have anything, really important that we really need to put a lot of time on. But I'm gonna move on to our new business, because I do have some, so you had your hand up for that. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I want to invite the caucus to the public safety meeting that we have. We having it on February 18th, and it's about the violence that we have in the city. And I think if y'all could pop in just to hear what the round table is talking about. We're gonna try to have various departments come and speak to us, and just trying to figure out some solutions around the uptake and the violence that's in the city. So I just wanted to invite y'all to that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody have any questions? So it's gonna be the link, how we would get the link.
I will have Mr. Al Lucas send out the link to everyone on the caucus.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. So anybody have any questions to Alder Wingate on that invitation to us? Okay, if not, okay, new business, which we have not discussed before that I don't remember if we did or not, but our streets. I just wanted to know from all of the alders, after the snow, how's your streets? Okay, I see you, Brian, Alder Wingate. You're up, Alder Wingate.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I feel like I'm the only one talking. Because I am, right? So I mean I'm in Beaver Hills, right? So I'm in Beaver Hills and I have a stretch to some side streets that I thought could have been better, you know, mainly West Ivy, Willis, Blake. I mean, some of it is our constituents' fault, right? To be honest with you, like some of the issues our constituents' fault because they won't move the cars, right? And you know, I'm always in that midst of, you know, do I want to say something and their car get towed, but they're already struggling. I don't want to put another burden on them, right? So I'm trying to figure out how can I, you know, as the alder before the storm, maybe just go put something on the doors, door hanger or whatever, you know, just to let them know that King Robinson is available to them, because it's bad down those streets. Like I drove down that street yesterday, and if we get this storm that's supposed to be coming from Sunday to Monday, right? Even the plow's not gonna be able to get down that street. This is West Ivy and Willis. So I'm gonna try to make it short, but those particular streets in my area is always hit. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Anyone else with their streets? Because I'm concerned with the aftermath of the
So,
cleanup. Okay, Alder Rodriguez. I see your hand. I acknowledge you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with Alder Wingate. We're definitely trying to not have cars towed. We know that there are a lot of situations right now, and it would be unfair to put the onus on the city departments, because I agree again with Alder Wingate. I have a school right down my street, and people know that they have to move their cars. And I've walked around before the storm and asked folks to move. And to be quite honest with you, folks left their cars out. And so when you go walking around and we're helping an 80-year-old shovel out, and she says this is what folks do, and they know to move their cars, but they just don't want to. So we're caught between a rock and a hard place. We don't want their cars towed, but then the aftermath is, it's hard. And you know, there are many complaints, but folks know that the availability, because you're getting it all over the news, you're getting the phone calls. So, you know, I know we're addressing it here. What is there to do when folks just don't move? Thank you, Madam Chair.
Oh, okay. Anyone else on that about your streets and the aftermath, the cleanup?
yes, Alder Douglas, thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I got
think-
my hand. I tried to raise my hand and
Oh, okay.
I have a
The
question.
president is here.
I was
Yes.
just trying to let you know that I have my hand raised, like, you know, where we supposed to raise our hand at in the
Oh,
chat.
okay.
So I didn't know whether you could see it or not. So I'll
No.
lower it since that's not what we're doing. But just put me on the queue. Thank you.
Okay. And I couldn't see anyone's hand, only if I see them, their picture, so.
It's in
Okay.
a picture.
Alder
It's
Douglas,
on the top part of the picture.
oh, I can't hear our president.
So I think there's
I'm not speaking.
Hmm. Madam President, can you hear me? Because you are breaking up.
I could hear you. I could hear you, but I'm not speaking. I'm on mute. That's why you can't hear me. I'm not saying anything. I'm on mute. I just said put me on the queue, and then Alder Douglas started talking. I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay. Alder Douglas.
but I just think that we have to work with the Department of Public Works in working on a system, because here in my neighborhood, I was out personally getting people to move their cars, but you know, they have us move the cars off of the odd side, but then they don't plow to the curb. They plow the snow, and there's no, when the next day comes, we can't put our cars on the other side so they can come do the even side. So it just makes a mess. So we really have to have a conversation with them too. I like to stand out there and wait for the plow to come so I can kind of help conduct their system, but that's a conversation we're going to have with them.
Yes, I wrote that down. Mhm.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, colleague.
Our Vice Chair, could you please help me with seeing the names and people hands raised? Do you have access to that? Vice Chair Santiago? Maybe he's not there. Okay, our
Yeah,
president.
I'm telling you, it's Alder, the president and
Yes.
Alder Smith, the two hands I see up.
All right,
I don't see anything else, nobody else.
president now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My streets where people actually complied, my streets were done pretty good. I actually went around and told people they needed to move, and then if they didn't, I sent them over there to ticket and told them. Because we have to get the streets clean. So the ones where people complied was actually pretty decent this time. We had a couple of challenges on the smaller streets, the real narrow streets, but for the most part, where people move their cars, it kind of worked out during this storm. It was better than the previous one for me in my ward.
Okay, so you actually had them to tow the car if they didn't move it?
Absolutely. So what I
Okay.
do is I make sure I send out a correspondence before any storm, telling them, look, don't be the odd one out and stuff. I have a separate order, not my personal, but my separate order Facebook post where people from my ward is up there. I put it up there as well. And then I ride around. If I see people didn't move, I knock on the door and tell them they need to move their cars because they coming. And when the plows come, if they don't move, those are the cars that get ticketed and towed. And for the most part, a lot of people move once I knock on their door, they go move their car.
Yes.
I only have a couple that refuse to. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They don't want to move.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right, then. After our older Honda Smith, then I'll come back and tell you, I'll speak after her. She has the cue.
Alder Rodriguez is after Alder Smith.
Okay, then I'm after you. Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the most part in my ward, it was okay, but my major roads were okay. It's just the side roads in the cul-de-sac, so where I had the problems at, and I too walk in the community to make sure that people were aware and also put out messages for them to move their vehicles. But I think we need to do a little bit more with the tagging and towing. I think traffic and parking has to become a little bit more serious with that tagging and towing situation in order to move the cars off. And I'm like the Madam President, if there was plenty of notices that went out to residents from the news media to the mayors releasing storm messages and so on. So there was no excuse for the cars not to be off of the street. And there definitely wasn't any excuse for the streets not to be plowed from curb to curb. I do agree with Alder Douglas. Public Works have to step it back up again. This is actually, to be honest with you, the worst season that I've seen Public Works actually have done with snow removal. And they have to, bring up their game back to the way that it should be. This storm wasn't as worse as storms that I have seen in the past. It was a pretty bad one, but it was not the worst storm. So it could have been much better. Thank you so much for this time.
Okay, just a question. So you feel like this storm, this cleanup was the worst one that you've seen for the season? I'm just taking notes so we can write a letter to Public Works sharing our thoughts.
Yes,
So,
this one was actually the worst cleanup.
Okay.
I've seen where we have
Cleanup.
done better cleanup with storms in which that we have had. I believe whomever that was on some of these routes allowed the routes to get away from them by not staying consistently on the routes. These people know how to get around cars when there's cars in the way. The middle of the roadway should have been cleared. I personally, if I were to talk to you on a technical aspect of what should have done, I don't believe that they put the material down, the salt down before the storm, because if they did that, we wouldn't have this compaction and you would have had much cleaner streets than what they are now. But that's on the technical side of what Public Works should have done first. I think they dropped it a little bit too late, and that's when it got away from them.
Oh, okay. All right. Alder Santiago. Thank you.
Yes. No, I'll say Alder Rodriguez. Evelyn Rodriguez had her hand up
Oh.
after Smith.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to share that a lot of work has been done in my ward in reference to the weather increment. But what I find is that there's a lot of works all of our departments should be doing. And that's where our tax monies are going. And it isn't until calls are made that then some attention is given. I think that we hurt because all year round, we're not getting that kind of like maintenance, ongoing care. More lighting in our city, more the trees are not cut the way they need to be cut so that the lights can be more visible. So many things that our units and our departments should be doing. We are their eyes and ears. We can be, we don't have to be, because they're getting salaries and they're getting paid to do certain jobs. But, I think we have to work on that, on those relationships. But all in all, I think the EOC Center, when I made several calls, they responded immediately to the things that I requested. And I did get a number of calls, and I understand about the enforcement, that we have to work on that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. That was good, Alder, because the care, the maintenance care all year round. Yeah, our departments need to have more integrity in serving the public. You are right on that one. Okay. Alder Santiago, is there anyone else with their hands up?
Not that I see. No.
Did you have one?
No.
Okay, I did about the streets. Yeah, this was Cave Street, That's a small street. It really, after all the snow was gone, one of my elderly called and said, I'm afraid because they can't come in to get me because they didn't even go down the middle of the road of his street. So I text that in. So it's really, I felt like too this year, our streets wasn't done right. And I said, God forbid if we get another snow, and snow is coming. So I think, we really have to let them know when the people do comply, they should do that curve to the curve. So the people will have a chance to go over to the other side, back to the odd side, so they could clean during the aftermath. They would do that even side. And also, yeah, I'm telling you, our problem streets, we took information to the doors before the snow. And we made sure that they had that information. And, some people just won't move. So you hate to say tow their cars because they know they have the schools, parking lot, different places. Sometimes I go down the street and everybody have a driveway. I don't know why they don't like to use their driveways, but we may have to go back to towing. That's when they will get the message. So if nothing else on that, I wanted to ask you, I know this snow we just had, this last one, we did not get the elderly's sidewalks and driveway shovel this time, because I was talking to Medalia and she said she was looking for a nonprofit to help us with that. So have any of the alders talked to Medalia about the sidewalks being done for our elderly during snow time? Nobody?
I have.
Oh, okay. Okay, what have she communicated with you on that?
Okay, last year it was very nice.
Yes.
She did help a number of the elderly in my ward. But this year, I believe there was a problem because there was a great demand. And so from what I learned, according to the EOC Center, was that the group that is helpful, the volunteer group, is from Hamden, and a number of the people retired. So no one has taken it on to continue it.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to say, yeah, she is the director of our elderly services, and this would come from the Moret Fund for the services for our elderly. So I'll communicate with her again to see if she found a nonprofit. She said that's what she needed for this time. It didn't go well. It did go well her first time she did this year. It was good, but then the company she had said no, they didn't want to do it because of some, other things. So hopefully she'll find someone else. She'll find this nonprofit she needs so we can get the elderly sidewalks and driveways done in each ward. She said it's for New Haveners only. Okay, so now, if nothing else, we're gonna talk about Alder Morrison. We'll talk. Oh, I see Alder Carmen Rodriguez. I see you.
No, Madam Chair, Alder Honda Smith has her hand up.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, thank you.
If I can make a suggestion in regards to the elderly, whenever we have such a huge storm that were to come in, or any snowstorm, what we did in the past, we brought all departments together and we found out what do they have to offer and how we can utilize them. And we did that all in a departmental um, meeting, snow meeting, in which was held at the Department of Public Works. And I believe Alder Saldicola came to a couple of them. And what we have came up with in some instances that we have different departments that did different things. And I would like to suggest that when we have a storm like this, and if she has that Marette fund, or not utilize the fund, whichever way they want to do it, is to get housing authority involved in with this, because they have smaller equipment in which that they use, like snow blowers. They have the little machine as where they have a plow on it, like an ATV machine, piece of equipment that they can utilize, and they're in just about half of the city, where they can reach elderly people. So if we can bring all of those resources together and ask them if they can utilize their machinery to help out with elderlies in different sections of the community, that keeps them working, it keeps the elderly houses cleaned out, and it brings the city together, working together as one. Because when you get major storms like this, one department can't handle everything. Like you have Parks Department will take care of the bridges and the sidewalks that surrounding the bridges. Then LCI would come in and do crosswalks where people can, and bus stops. So I think bringing all of that together, it would make it much easier on the city, and we can see a different, a bigger difference in the city, and with helping our seniors also. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
Oh, okay. That's a good suggestion. Hopefully, I don't mean to speak badly about any department, but I have a time with the housing authority just taking care of the elderly complex. So hopefully they could help us with, taking care of our elderly that live in their own private homes. So for myself, on my end with Newhall Gardens, I have a time with them, with the cleanup for them. Way aftermath, they has not taken care of Newhall Gardens. So, but that is a good, I'll get together and get everything together, and we'll reach out to the housing authority and others, asking them to help us to better serve our elderly during the times of the storm. Thank you so much. Is there anything else on this? If not, we're gonna go right on to.
Just want to suggest one thing.
I heard somebody say something.
Yes, I just want to make a suggestion. One of the things that I noticed during this storm is I noticed a couple of my neighbors that they have plows. So that means that they have some kind of a business. So I'm thinking that, you know how they do with legal aid, that they provide a whole list of attorneys that you can call on your own accord, that maybe if we all got together, we could probably identify a number of our small business contractors and in the area that would be willing to serve the community and at a reasonable price. Because even I, for example, if my brother's not around to help me shovel, I can utilize some help.
Mhm.
So it's just an idea that I'm just sharing with you, that we can think about it, out of the box. Of course,
Oh,
being careful.
yeah, because
Thank
the
you.
insurance and everything else. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right then, because I know they have to be even when the LLCs were helping our director of elderly services, she said they had to be licensed, registered, and it was one more she said. So, okay, that's a good
And should,
idea. We will move on to, I have Alder Morrison is going to share with us about our Black History program for this month coming up.
Madam Chair, can I, before Alder Morrison goes in,
Uh,
Before we started the meeting, I told you, I gotta leave right now.
I know, you told me,
Yeah,
I seen
yeah.
it.
I apologize, but I gotta be gone, guys. Be safe, right?
Okay, yeah, you be safe too. Okay, all right, Alder, okay, I see, Alder Wingate. I see your hand.
Yes, Madam Chair, if I can assist you with hands being raised, I will do that, okay?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
All right.
So it's in Alder Morrison's hand now. She's gonna share with us.
Okay, so this is in regards to our Black History program for 2021. The date of the program will be Friday, February 26th at 6 p.m. It will be held via Zoom. This year's theme will be a Zoom panel discussion on the COVID-19 vaccinations. As we know, with each passing day, there's a new vaccination coming out. The last time we were on this call, Director Bond was a part of this conversation. And since then, another vaccination is on its way out. So by the time we get to the 26th, we don't know what there will be. So this panel discussion is going to be facilitated by Dr. Okafor, former CSA. The panelists will include Dr. Meredith Williams from Cornell Scott Hill Health Center, Dr. Rachel Vasquez. She is the Director of Nursing for the City of New Haven Department of Public Health. Dr. Tamiko Jackson MacArthur, who is a pediatric doctor, and also a member of the local Board of Education. Director Bond, she will be on vacation, but she is very committed to this and to our health. So she says that she's gonna Zoom in. And then we have Mr. Paul Mounds, the governor's, Governor Lamont's chief of staff. And so basically, we're still in the process of putting, the entire program on. But the bottom line to it is that we're going to be really looking at the truths and myths of the vaccinations, really with a strong emphasis on Black and Hispanic people. Because as we all know, we're a little leery. We're a little more leery than most about involving ourselves in new vaccinations. And so this will give us the opportunity to hear, different perspectives. Each one of the panelists will provide us with some questions that they are most frequently asked. And those questions will be used during the presentation, but it would also be open to the public to be able to ask questions as time lends. So, so that is our program. Any questions? Okay, I don't see any. So, okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, you're welcome. Alder Wingate, any hands raised? If not, we're almost ready to adjourn, but we're gonna go to the Board of Alders agenda for February 16th. Madam President.
Yes, I don't have the
Got it back.
agenda with me. Al just sent me the agenda for this meeting, not for our meeting. By homework, they should know what the second readings are. And if they got any questions, they should reach out to the chair because I just don't know what it said.
Oh, okay, because I asked Al if he would go over them if you did not come on, but you don't have them before you.
No.
So now, Madam Chair, Madam President, what did you say? Everybody should have them, you said?
Well, I mean, the second readings were readings the last meeting.
Right.
So
Mhm.
people should know what that is, right? Because they don't have
Okay.
that agenda before. I just don't have it in point by point. But I do have something else I want to say very quickly
Yes, Madam Chair.
that I
Madam
think
President.
is important, and you'll probably hear more about when you're talking to your person in leadership over the weekend for our meeting on Tuesday. And that is about the legislative agenda. There are going to be some conversations happening around that this weekend. It's going to be communicated at our next meeting, and we're going to have ample opportunities to talk about it and have public weigh in. And I'm hoping that auditors who buy into the agenda will have people from their actual community come in and testify at some of these hearings, because I think that's going to be very important.
Oh, okay.
Did
Yes,
you hear me, Delphine? I mean, excuse me,
yes,
did you
I can hear you.
hear me, Madam Chair?
Yes, I heard you a little bit. You were breaking up, but I wanted to say I'm so glad you spoke on this, because that was one of the things I forgot to mention about our legislative agenda. And I was just want to, for us to talk about that as well, but you did, so that's good. And the topics, the different topics of the legislative agenda. So I'm glad you talked on that. Is any other things you would like to share with us on that legislative agenda?
Yes, just that I think it's going to be really important that we get our constituents involved, right? Because we are making priorities based on things that we've heard knocking on thousands of doors over the course of years, what's really important to them. And I believe now is time where, they get some stake in it. And sorry for the background, but they get some stake in it, right? And that they come out to the public hearings and talk about how they feel about issues like affordable housing, like public safety, like jobs and stuff like that.
Did we lose Madam President? Alder Wingate, did we lose her?
We sure did.
Okay.
No, I'm here.
Okay, Madam, we still listening to you, Madam President.
Okay, no, I was done. I just said I feel like our constituents need to get involved this time around, because these priorities are based on the things that we've heard over the course of years that is really important to them. So each alder should be able to bring at least 3 people from their neighborhood to talk about the importance of these issues.
Oh, okay. And when again, that would, they could bring at least 3 people, or how many people want to show up to talk about our legislative agenda on these topics?
So we're gonna put it in on Tuesday.
Okay.
It's gonna be assigned to committee that night. I'm still debating which committee, because only a couple of committees meet at the end of the month. But that will be an opportunity. And I'm sure it will be at least 2 to 3 more opportunities to talk about some things during budget season, because it's all related.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Madam President. That's another thing I really wanted us to share tonight with each other. Okay, so I would like to say before we adjourn, make a motion.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I think Alder Evelyn Rodriguez have her hand up.
Okay, yes. Yes, Alder Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Madam President.
I can't hear her. I can't hear her.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. In addressing the the elephant that is impacting us tremendously in the media on the taxes. How can we address that diligently and carefully as we pursue our legislative agenda? Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam President.
Okay, Madam President, that's for you. That question, was that question for
I'm
Madam
sorry, I
Chair
couldn't hear the whole question. I'm sorry.
Alder Rodriguez?
Okay, I know that one of the reasons why we want to move and preserve the legislative agenda soon is because we are looking at the budget. But how can we best address it when we are encouraging our residents to participate in this so important event? Thank you.
Well, that is part of addressing it, right? Because we're talking about issues that affect their everyday lives, right? We heard a number of times that affordable housing was important in the city. People need affordable places to live. Well, the perfect opportunity to talk about that is when we're talking about affordable housing and we're drafting a budget, right? So all of it is kind of related. People talk about public safety. Well, what does that look like? Like, what are the things that's really necessary to get like a true public safety platform? These are just ample opportunities for our residents to be involved in the different conversations and to be involved in the decisions, right? We did surveys before, so we're not making this stuff up or pulling it out the air. We did surveys of residents. Everybody in each ward did some. It was a number of different things. The first time we knocked on doors from here to Texas somewhere, getting information. Now I think we're just at a critical point where some of those voices that was represented through us, we need to hear those voices out there with us when we're drafting a budget that during a very hard time, right, in the city where the finances are really strained. But the budget is an opportunity to really shape what our priorities really is. So that's how we do it.
And I'm sure, Madam President, they will, the people that we bring will have a chance to talk on that as well, I'm sure. The budget, meaning the budget. Mhm.
Yes, during budget season, yes.
Yes, that was her question. Okay, so I would like, this is a question to Alder Honda Smith. Alder, could you get with me where we can do a letter using the right vocab to our Public Works Department about our cleanup for this season? What, give them some of the things that we shared tonight with each other from our constituents and what we have seen with our own eyes. Could you help me get together and do a letter to Public Works from the Black Hispanic Caucus?
Sure, I can.
I didn't hear you.
Sure, I can do that.
Okay. I'm free tomorrow in the morning time. I don't know your schedule, but I'm free early, We had a death in our ward. Mrs. Addie Kimbrough's daughter passed. So we're getting ourselves ready for, to help her as well. So, all right, so there's nothing else. I would like to attain, oh yeah, one more thing. Our next meeting will be March the 10th, 2021 at 6. And then if someone would like to make a motion for us to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion
I
to
second the motion.
adjourn.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All's in favor?
All
Hey,
in
Brian.
favor? Yes, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right, and I'm like at church. Please forgive me when we say it's time to go, it's time to go. Please forgive me. All right, talk to everyone later. Be safe.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
All the Wingate. All the Wingate.
Oh, we're still recording. We're still live, guys. Just send me a little note about how the vaccines are doing in your ward.